Welcome to Plant-Based on Fire, the podcast that ignites your passion for plant-based businesses. Real Men Eat Plants is proud to host this show, where we shine a spotlight on the latest and greatest plant-based companies making waves in the industry. From startups to established brands, we'll explore what sets these businesses apart, what challenges they've faced, and what their vision for a more sustainable and ethical food future looks like. So if you're hungry for some fresh insights, inspiring stories, and a healthy dose of entrepreneurial spirit, then join us on Plant-Based on Fire, brought to you by Real Men Eat Plants.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Plant-Based on Fire, where we are talking about plant-based businesses, their inspiring stories to thrive in the industry. I'm your host, and joining us today is Justin Montgomery. Welcome, Justin.
Hey, thanks, Bryan, for having me.
Really appreciate you diving in. So, you are, just give us a little background on what you're up to right now, and no business yet, but just a little bit we've spoken. There's definitely some things on the horizon, but just tell us what are you up to right this minute.
Yeah, so I'm on sabbatical that I gave myself as a treat for wrapping up a 13-year career in education in New Jersey. I designed 4-year computer science academies that were student-centered, project-based, and ended in a capstone and had all this service learning tied to it. And now I'm looking to start my PhD so that I could possibly work in government and at a national level to bring what I've done in the classroom and research it so that I could really have that academic proof of concept down, and then come out with a book, some courses, and then try to work up just getting that kind of education out there, because I really think that's going to be able to help society.
Awesome. Well, we are excited. So I definitely want you to come back in a few months or whatever time it takes you to get something launched and help promote it a little bit more here on the show. So I'm a fellow computer programmer as well. I did not do so well in computer science, so I switched to information technology. But I just loved the couple episodes I saw on your YouTube channel and a few things like that with mathematical. What was the name of it again?
Mathematical Power.
Awesome. So you are a fellow plant-baser here with me. Tell me, how did you get started on your journey, and what sort of drew you into this lifestyle we have?
As some amazing things happen, it was an accident.
Yeah. Same for me, honestly.
Yeah. And I just rolled with it. I was on this LifeSum app, and then it helped me scan the nutritional content and value for my health in the grocery store. And 2 hours later, I'm at checkout, and I look down at my cart and I say to myself, I guess I'm going plant-based.
Yeah, that's awesome. So it wasn't a movie or anything. It was just you in the grocery store checking ingredients. I
hadn't seen Game Changers until maybe a month after that, because then it took me a little time to get my bearings and fine tune to make sure that I was getting my proper nutrition. And once I was, within 3 weeks, my friends were like, "You're glowing."
Yeah. It's I don't know. I have kids, and it's it's hard to explain to the people that have kids or don't have kids, what is it like having kids, kind of a thing. I feel it's the same way with plant-based lifestyles. It's so hard to really put your finger on unless people have given it an honest try and can see the difference. So just walk us through what was your sort of journey and experience of going through that transition? What was the first couple of things you noticed?
I think the first thing was that I literally got my life back. I had experienced a lot of mental fog, and I just wasn't sleeping as well. And then I'm an extreme athlete with rock climbing, and I wasn't able to do some of the more intense training like fingerboarding because the inflammation, I guess, from my diet or just not getting the right nutrients. And when I switched over to plant-based, I lost 10 pounds that just came off. I was eating more than I ever had before, and I had to keep checking my Apple Watch, and it's yeah, you need more carbs, you need more fats, you need more protein. I'm like, okay, more blueberries, more avocados. And
Yeah.
then I went climbing for the first time in a while because I had focused on a couple other things. I'm also a van lifer, so I was building that at the
Hmm.
time, was focusing on that after work. And I just kind of float up something that normally would have been outside of my wheelhouse. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I am onto something big.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it was the Forks Over Knives movie, like, I don't know, 12 or 13 years ago at this point. And like Game Changers, the more people I talk to, Game Changers, I think it's maybe that scientific mathematical angle that Game Changers really pushes people towards, like, really evaluate it. Is that when you watch that, was that part of it for you, just seeing some of the science behind it?
It was, and it spoke to me. And actually, I was watching it at my dad's place, and he kind of walked through and saw what I was watching, and it kind of piqued his interest too. And when he saw like Forks Over Knives, that's when he was like, "Okay, what am I gonna do here? Let me in on
Hmm.
this." And like,
Yeah.
he's about 65, and he was going gray, but he thinks from eating beet greens now that he's getting his hair color back. So
Wow. I never even thought of that. Like, I got a little too much gray hair myself. So have to explore that one and unpack it. So are you saying dad's on board with you too here?
he is, and actually, that's something that I'm most recently proud of because um, we were both in the same area this past winter, and so I kind of like helped him learn how to cook a plant-based diet and got him into the smoothie game because I think that's a staple in the diet.
Hmm.
Who doesn't want more smoothies anyway? And
That's right.
so, yeah, he was able to successfully do it, and he's like working out stronger now. His blood pressure medicine that he was on, he doesn't have to be on that anymore for like the first
Hmm.
time since I don't know, I could remember anyway. So it's really
Right.
powerful, and it's like the greatest gift I could have given my father.
Yeah, that is awesome. I've been harping on my dad for years, so maybe getting him to listen to this episode will be the driving point to have a little bit less meat in his diet for sure.
Good.
Um, I'm so curious, van lifer. So I did buy myself a van, and I am in the process of building it out. Although with the kids and work and stuff, I don't know if I'll get to live in it all as much, but I'm definitely going to vacation in it. What got you and drew you into that kind of thing?
I'm a minimalist maximalist, and I had realized, when you're living in a traditional space, an apartment, condo, house, if you got to do something, you have to travel to do that. And that was time and energy that I didn't want to lose anymore. I
Hmm.
also wanted to be in nature more. So I get to
Hmm.
park the van by these beautiful lakes in the back country. I get to park at trailheads and go climbing first thing in the morning. So the
Hmm.
lifestyle afforded me that opportunity. And one thing that I didn't realize would be my favorite would be able to cook for my climbing friends after a long day right there at the
Yeah.
campground, like a full meal that's like plant based and nutritious and is going to keep us climbing hard throughout our trip.
That's just one of the few things I've found as well. Like just driving a couple hours and going for a really long hike and then having the van as like a little base to just take a nap and cook some awesome food. Like you said, you nailed it on the head for sure. So I am thoroughly jealous of you getting to do that full time for that front. So how do you, like you've got a wide variety of interests that I have so many questions about, but like how do you balance all the different passions you have?
I couldn't do it without my plant based diet. I know that seems like a shameless plug here, but I didn't have the energy
Hmm.
before. I'm 38, so I'm no spring chicken anymore. And
Hmm.
I think that's the first thing. And the second thing is like routine and discipline and always being willing to grow. And I really like to learn and apply myself. So I have a lot of internal motivation.
That is awesome. So have you, I guess, you're the fellow real man eating plants with us here on that front. And it's I definitely feel like a minority at times on the planet as a man on that front. What challenges and resistance have you faced as you went through this transition into the plant-based world?
Yeah, I get teased for sure.
Hmm.
But the results speak for themselves. I'm able to like outpace my younger guy friends who are also climbers, for example, or
Mm-hmm.
trail runners, and I recover faster, so I could go more days in a row. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that's when they start to ask questions. It's like
Mm-hmm.
kind of guarded and maybe masked a little bit, but you could tell they're paying attention.
Yeah. I almost feel like um, my prediction, I guess, I'll put this out there boldly, is that probably over the next 10 years, you will see a lot of the professional athletes that rise to the top of their careers realize that they are plant-based in so many ways, whether they maybe admit it or not. I already see like Tennessee Titans from Game Changers and whatever, dominating. And we spoke with the vegan bodybuilder guy, and he's just crushing it with the vegan bodybuilder competition. So I don't know. That's my prediction, is that you'll see more and more of the famous people heading in that direction, and it'll drag society that way, I hope.
I
So.
hope so too, because what I learned was I was not getting the micronutrients that my body was actually craving. So,
Hmm.
yeah, I would definitely say I'm hungrier more often, but it's not like a hungry that's listless, like um, I don't have any energy when I'm hungry. It's more
Yeah.
like I got this cauldron that's just like burning up calories, and because it has those powerful micronutrients. And that's why I felt like before I just would eat and I would be full because I was eating a lot of fat, a lot of protein, because you're
Hmm.
eating like a hamburger. That's like a lot of excess stuff that's going to fill your stomach up and make you feel full. But then I was never satiated, and it never gave me, after eating the meal, this like lightness in my mind and my body, definitely not in my
Hmm.
spirit. And that, I think, has been the biggest change that I want people to experience themselves.
Yeah, for sure. What's the what's the I guess the two questions pop as you're saying that is like, what's your thoughts on, the lettuce versus the Beyond Meats and those kinds of things?
They're treats.
Yeah.
I really am a proponent of whole foods, and that
Yeah.
it's plant based because that's where the nutrients are. And anything that's processed is just going to be, you're going to be losing that value from it. But for sure, at a barbecue, that's what I'm going for. I'm going to indulge. I'm going to have a Beyond Burger, and also the ultimate chicken patties by Gardein are
Hmm.
ridiculously good. And yeah,
Yeah. I
whenever they're
mean,
on sale, I buy
it's
them.
exactly right. The same thing, like my favorite milk is that Elmhurst milk, and it's just like water and cashews or whatever it
Mhm.
is, and they run that on sale, buy one get one free now and then. But what's the like to me it's this like I want to embrace, and like Plant Based on Fire is really geared towards interviewing the business owners that are trying to change the world through their plant-based, methodology for bringing their business to life. But there are so many businesses that have a lot of, like, the vegan junk food and stuff like that. So I don't know, how do we change the planet through the plant-based business world? Do you have any thoughts on that?
I kind of do. I'm no expert. It just seems like,
Hmm.
how are you going to make a lot of money on vegetables when most people's gardens can, at home, can create the surplus that they need in that
Yeah.
regard?
Well, we're
And
gonna sell vegetables to these van lifers that don't have a garden, right?
thank you.
So- I mean,
Oh,
honestly, my cucumbers outside are going absolutely crazy this year. Honestly, we must have 100 cucumbers. So drive on over, and I can load you up.
that'll
So
be great. Dip that in some homemade hummus. That'll
yeah.
be as cool as a cucumber, as they say. But I think that it's been really awesome watching market forces make things a little more accessible for plant-based eaters. And some of those junk food products, I am happy that they are there. Like a lot of the ingredients, like I think there's I had the other day. It's like a Mexican cookie or something.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at the ingredients and it's like, okay, there's actually nothing bad in here. So as a dessert, because I'm already eating so healthy, like just to have
Yeah.
like a little cheat here and there,
Mm-hmm.
I think really kind of balances out like my mental well-being, because I don't want to have diet fatigue. That's for sure.
Right. Yeah. Well, I always push back when they ask me, don't you get sick of eating beans and salad? And I'm like, there are 10,000 million vegetables out there. Like, you're not going to get bored eating this. So
And
that is for sure.
if you go to major metropolitan areas, like for example, Seattle, the best pizza I ever had in my life. I've had Chicago deep dish, definitely
Mm-hmm.
legendary, but there's this place called Pie, like the number Pie in Seattle, and their pizza and their like garlic breadstick things, like it was just so delicious, and it had no animal products in it.
Yeah. That is awesome. There's a new vegan pizzeria around here someplace, so I'm hoping to get the friends to go check that out tomorrow night. We'll see how that goes.
Awesome.
So, what? So where is your journey taking you on the van, and like what is next for Justin?
Yeah, I was van lifing for a couple years as a teacher in Jersey. So picture that in,
Okay.
suburbia. But it's like full outfitted, so I have everything I need to still be a
Mm-hmm.
professional. And I've been on a sabbatical, which is ending this later this month. But
Mm-hmm.
I took the van up to Canada, as I like to say, for a little
Yeah.
while up in Alberta and BC, and on just crown land off grid by Abraham Lake, and just seeing like grizzly bears and other massive wildlife that you don't normally encounter. And then just doing some
Mm-hmm.
rock climbing, hanging out in Okanagan Valley by the lakes. And then I've been in Nevada at Red Rock Canyon, because it's just like 20 lifetimes of climbing there. And I'll be teaching
Yeah.
there in a few weeks right outside the canyon, to get back into it, learn the city, and try to take my program a little bit larger.
Very, very cool. So what's on the horizon for the YouTube channel and the mathematical side of things? Like where are some of those more intellectual passions lying?
Yeah, right now I'm reading a lot of books, and then
Hmm.
podcasting, interviewing with the authors. And I'm just kind of storing those up, so that I could get like a better idea about what my brand is going to be. Kind of like
Sure.
education 4-2, like number 4-2, because I go back to education being probably one of the greatest keys for unlocking societal well-being, and kind of excited to continue to pursue that in the upcoming year or two.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to seeing what you come up with and how to change that through the power of plants and everything else that we've got going on. So, I really appreciate you being here, Justin, and thanks for hopping on an episode of Plant Based on Fire here.
Thanks, Bryan, and thanks for the mission that you're doing, and keep up the good work.
Yeah, I can't say it enough. Like, I mean, you've already been through it, but like for the people that are listening that are not sure, I mean, we got the 30-day challenge, and I do think it only takes 30 days to really realize the value that a plant-based lifestyle can bring to you. So go check that out at realmeneatplants.com. Until next time, let's keep the fire burning. That's all the time we have for this episode of Plant Based on Fire. So, again, thank you very much, Justin, for joining us and sharing some of your insights and travel tips for us on your journey here. And we'll talk with you soon.
Thanks, Bryan. Look forward to it.
And that's a wrap for this episode of Plant Based on Fire. We hope you enjoyed learning about the innovative plant-based businesses we featured today and got inspired to support them on their journey. Remember, plant-based eating isn't just a trend. It's a way of life that benefits your health, the environment, and animals. By choosing plant-based foods, you're making a positive impact on the world and helping to create a better and more compassionate future. If you want to join the Real Men Eat Plants community and get even more resources to help you go and stay plant-based, check out our blog, podcasts, and 30-day challenge at realmeneatplants.com. Thank you for tuning in to Plant Based on Fire, brought to you by Real Men Eat Plants. Head over to Apple Podcast and give us a review, and let us know what you think of this episode. Don't forget to tag us at Plant Based on Fire when you share this episode in your preferred social media. Wish to be a guest? We need to know about your plant-based business. Email us at pbof@realmeneatplants.com. We love hearing from our listeners. Thank you to our guests and to you, our listeners, for your support, and see you next time.